Hi guys! Welcome back. So I'm in a different location, as you guys can see. We actually went back home for the holidays. If you guys are seeing this video first, we were supposed to go back home to Colorado, but then a family situation happened. We ended up staying at my auntie's in New Mexico. So I'm back in the town of where I was born. I was born in Shiprock, New Mexico. It's crazy. For years, I've been super ashamed of the fact that I was born in such a small city. Also, I wasn't really fond of the idea of me growing up or being raised and born on a reservation. By the way, I'm also Native American. I'm what is called a Navajo. There's a few questions that I want to answer for you guys before we wrap up 2023. We're just going to be having a little Q&A session about what I learned this year, coming to my lifestyle, to my bad habits that I got out of this year, my crazy love life this year, and I'm probably going to spill the tea on a few guys that I've kind of had a little situationships with. Before we get into all of those crazy questions, I'm gonna go get some food real quick. I'm gonna show you around just a little bit, just a smidge. This is where I'm staying. My cousin decorated all of the living room. Isn't it super cute? She put these ornaments on the ceiling. It's super cute. Also, I've been enjoying the food here because in Native American culture, we eat unhealthy, but that's the best part of being a Native American. We actually have this thing called fry bread. If you go back in history of what fry bread is, I'm gonna give you guys a little info on it. So during the whole long walk situation that happened with the Navajos, when they rounded up all the natives, took them to Fort Sumner, correct me if I'm wrong, they supplied them with lard, flour, and all the ingredients that make fry bread. So that was how fry bread was created while they were on this little camp, basically. If you guys want to do your little research on what it is, I recommend it. Even if fry bread was created from a negative situation, it's still fire as fuck. The fuck? Don't play with Native Americans. We are them bitches. Also, my auntie made these so good. I want to give bread up this year. Okay, so what I mean is there's a thing called gluten that comes in bread. Most of you bitches are probably like, duh. Well, I've learned over the years that gluten is super, super bad for you because it blocks all the good nutrients that everyday food gives you.
3 reasons to stop eating gluten. First, we do not possess the enzymes to break down gluten. Humans do not possess that ability. And so what happens is when we eat foods with gluten, it can actually poke little holes in our digestive stomach lining. It messes with zonulin. Zonulin is involved in our stomach lining. And these little holes in our stomach lining are the beginning of leaky gut, and that can begin the process of developing autoimmune disease. Number 2, gluten is associated with an increase in inflammation, and inflammation is one of the primary risk factors of Alzheimer's disease and 14 out of 15 chronic diseases, or 14 out of 15 of the biggest causes of death. We're talking heart disease, we're talking Alzheimer's disease, neurodegenerative diseases, cancer. Inflammation is associated with all of them, and gluten can increase the risk of inflammation. Reason number 3, this one is kind of a sneaky one. If you eat food with gluten in it, it likely is carrying glyphosate or Roundup. Why is this so bad? So glyphosate can kill our healthy gut bacteria. What's good for your gut is good for your brain. And what harms your gut, or what harms your gut bacteria, can be harmful to your brain.
I don't know if it's just me, but anytime I eat bread, I always feel slow. I feel lazy. I feel like I'm not getting enough energy. I drink caffeine to compensate for that. I want to be able to be more gentle to my body and listen to my body and give my body the absolute best that it deserves this year. And I'm not going to say I'm going to give it up completely, but I'm going to slowly give bread up because, bitch, I don't really need bread like that. If I'm being honest with you, I'm coming to an age where I'm thinking I really don't need bread. I mean, there is alternatives. There's gluten-free bread. There's gluten-free pasta. There's always solutions to every single problem. Also, we need to get rid of this motherfucking double chin this year because this shit came, I've never had this all my life. I mean, I've been skinny most of my life until I was like probably around 8 to like 11 years old. I was always that chunky kid during that time. But I lost all that weight from running with my mom when I was a teenager. But when I was a teenager, bro, I was skinny, and I never had this double chin. But ever since I gained a whole bunch of weight last year, and I don't feel ashamed for it because I was eating good, okay? I was eating real good. And I just feel like I'm coming to a point of my age where things are gonna start slowing down and I need to start taking care of myself. But I've been eating really bad over the past week because we're home for the holidays. But I don't regret a single dish. So good. As we wrap up 2023, I have been making relationships. I've been putting them to the side this year. I've been trying to focus on me. I've been trying to be the leader, as you say. I talked about numerology. I don't know if I spoke about it recently. Always a number that you start off the new year. And basically this year I learned that my personal year was 1 this year. And it basically kind of isolates you from the crowd and it makes you a leader. It's basically the year of you and your independence. What do you want to become in the next 9 personal years? So I basically restarted every single thing. And I felt this shift as soon as this year happened, where what happened last year and the years before, they don't matter. Also, I reconnected with God this year. There was a lot of power struggles that I went through. I went through a lot of depression, anxiety, self-doubt. I have a lot of bad tendencies with I'm my biggest critic. I criticize every single thing that I do, every post that I make, every video that I edit, every outfit, makeup choice, just everything in my life. I always feel like it has to be better, it has to look good, it has to be better than the last. And I want to be more gentle with myself next year. I want to tell myself that, okay, if it's this, and I can be okay with it. I don't want to feel like I'm not doing enough. I want to tell myself that I am enough. When I was a kid, I was never given that, and I want to give that back to myself. Yo, you know what's so crazy? I recently saw photos of myself when I was a kid, like photos that I've never seen before. In this particular photo, I was wearing a tutu. I shedded a little tear because I wish that I was there for that kid. I wish I could tell that kid that, you are enough. You are beautiful. Whatever you want to be in the future, do it. Don't be ashamed of what your personality is. Don't feel like you're not good enough because somebody's telling you that you are not. I wish somebody would have told me back then that I was enough. It took a long time for me to tell myself that. It took a long time for me to be able to be this strong and to not accept the bullshit that I see and get from people every single day. I can see manipulation from a mile away, a lie. I can smell it out. Not to get too personal, there's a lot of people in my life that I really still love and I still have a lot of respect and gratitude towards. I want to cut them off this year. I want to isolate myself from these people completely. I still am going to be cordial and respectful, but I don't want to give myself up to people that don't see me. And what I mean by me is I feel like I shouldn't be around people that only want to hear what they want to hear from me. I want to be around people that accept me for every part of me, because I accept everybody's ugly. I accept everybody for what they are, and I may take a step back every once in a while from some people, but it doesn't mean I stopped loving. It just means that I want people to understand that I have boundaries and that I'm a person. And when we have the same predicament on my end and I make you upset and you step away from me, I want you to know that I'm giving that same energy back. All about understanding from the other perspective. Also, one thing that I also learned from this year was 2024 is going to be my personal year too, which is going to be a time where everything kind of slows down from this year, and I'm going to learn to understand, actually put my feet in other people's situations and understand where they're coming from. It's also going to make me see how people view me as a person. And I know I'm not the most perfect person in the world. I have anger issues. I can tend to be a little possessive of people sometimes. My Mars in Scorpio has made me in relationships be very possessive, and I don't want people to, when I find a friend, I just want that only one friend and that one person in my life. I could care less about anybody else. That's just a bad habit of mine, and I've had that before, and I would never want to give this person up. There's times when life has taught me that that isn't something that I should glorify or I should learn to separate from it. In love this year, I learned a lot. There was a lot of guys that I slept with. I'm not gonna lie. Well, not a lot. I'm not gonna be dramatic and say that I was like a hoe or something. I mean, I'm very particular when it comes to somebody that I would lay with. There's a lot of things that I kind of check off a list with. Obviously, you gotta look good, smell good, take care of yourself, but the energy has to be right. Like when I have a conversation with you, you have to be able to continue and make the conversation what it is. And if you can't hold a conversation and none of those things are checked off, I'm completely turned off, and I definitely don't continue with the relationship. But all these guys that I've kind of been thinking about recently, they weren't worth it. I don't think you should judge people for their lifestyles, because people have to learn either way. That's why when parents tell you, like, I didn't tell you this because I want you to learn for yourself, what is on the other side isn't always greener. I definitely learned that this year. I stopped giving my body to probably like 2 months ago. This last guy that I kind of had a situationship with, I kind of already mentioned him. I already said he put this persona up. He basically kind of made me believe he was this kind of a person. As soon as he got what he wanted, he kind of dipped. He like ghosted me and basically treated me as if I was just another one of those little hoes on the street or something. Like I said, I'm not crying about it. I know what I was walking into. I'm not sad about the whole situation. Or when I learned my lesson with all these guys this year, I started to understand that there's a lot more to me than my physical being. There's a lot more to me than the way that I present myself and the way that I'm very submissive in a relationship. There's so much more to me than hearing yes constantly. I want to be with somebody that makes me laugh, doesn't take life too serious, but is, serious about security in their life. I want to be with somebody that listens to me and actually understands where I'm coming from and doesn't judge me for the aggressive side that I can be sometimes. There's a lot of versions of me that people don't see. People choose to see the superficialness in me, but I'm not that person. There's so much more to me than what I speak about or how I present myself. I want to be with a guy that actually doesn't see my physical being. They see my spirit and my personality and what I bring to the table. I don't care about the way they look. I just expect them to take care of themselves and to present themselves confidently. I don't want them to be that kind of person that thinks that life is just about getting a job and that's it. I don't want them to be about the world. I want them to be about spirituality and the beauty of what life brings you when you tap in. I want them to be deep. I'm saying all these crazy words, but I just want them to be deep. My grandma passed away this year around February. It affected me for a while now. I internalized a lot of things in my life, especially this year. I kind of stopped crying after last year because I told myself that I was just not in the mood. I just felt like everything I don't know. I just feel like nothing really happens when you cry. I could be mistaken. I could be wrong, and maybe I need to learn a little bit from it, but I lost emotions after last year. When my grandma passed away, I felt really, really shitty. I felt really, really shitty because I wasn't contacting her for the last 3 to 4 months before she passed away. I have a lot of voicemails on my second phone of her voice. There was one of them that I accidentally opened and she was crying in it. I lost it. I told myself I couldn't listen to the rest of the voicemails because there was a lot. There's like a list. I don't know when I'm gonna listen to them, but I just don't feel like getting emotional right now because there's so much that I want to get done in my life right now. I want to get this YouTube channel back up and running. I want to get my TikTok page back to the way it used to be because I'm a little shadow banned at the moment. I want to be able to monetize this. I just want my grandma to know that I love you. Thank you so much for teaching me all that you did when I was a kid. You showed me nothing but love, told me every single time that we were together that I am special and that I deserve everything, all the blessings, I deserve it. She was the first person that taught me about God. She bought me and my older sister a Bible when I was a kid, and I just remember telling her that I couldn't finish it, but I told her one of these days I was gonna finish it for her. I want to do that for you. My sister ended up reading the whole thing, and she loved me and my older sister. She cherished the both of us because she said that we were both gonna be pioneers in our family to do something big. Before we get a little too emotional, I do want to tell you guys that there is a few habits that I do want to bring into my life this year. I want to get back into meditation because I haven't really been meditating as much as I used to. You don't have to do anything crazy. You can look up meditation videos. I like to start off for 5 minutes a day and gradually build it up. You can do 5 minutes for about 5 months or 6 months. You can then start off after the 6 months, 10 minutes, and just gradually build it up. You don't have to start off crazy. I want to start journaling again. Journaling was something that I was super addicted to when I was in middle school. I want to start thinking delusional this year. People have said that this is such a good tactic to bring in manifestations. It is good to talk to yourself and tell yourself that you already have something when you don't, because it makes everything in your life a lot more open. You basically open that door to that topic or that thing that you want in your life to come in faster. When you talk about money and say I am rich and I am wealthy, you're telling yourself that that's what you're going to be, and it's going to come into your life quicker. When you create that delusional mindset and you bring in that type of energy, you're going to start looking around and seeing all your blessings, and you're going to tell yourself, this is crazy. I can speak from personal experience. This happened around 2019 to 2020. I also want to be able to talk to myself in a better state. I want to be able to tell myself that I am good enough. It's the Virgo moon in me. I am successful. I am beautiful. I am wealthy. I am loved and cared for. That is one of my favorite quotes. All right, I think this completes everything that I kind of learned this year. There was a lot of things that I learned, but I want to keep that to myself because it is my life. I want to be able to enjoy my life and live in the moment. As much as I love posting online and being a part of the online world, I also feel as if I need to balance that and keep some things to myself because it's my life. But if you guys have learned anything this year, I hope helped you grow and helped you see a lot of things from a different perspective. Before I wrap this video up, make sure you guys like this video, subscribe if you want to. There's no pressure, but I would greatly appreciate it. And share this video, share this channel. We are coming back. I know I've neglected you guys for almost a year. Listen, bitch, I'm back. I've come a long ways. I actually rewatched my channel from the start, and I wish somebody would have told me how to edit better because some of my videos are terrifying. So I do apologize if you do. Go back to my channel and rewatch all my videos. And I'm super, super proud of myself. There's always a good time to reinvent yourself every single day. I look at life as a restart every single time that I wake up. As hard as some things may get, sometimes life throws me lemons, but I grab them and make it lemonade. Life is too short. Life is too effing short to pout about things, be negative about things, because life moves forward. It doesn't stop for anybody. Just remember that.
Walker, thank you for wanting a verse from me. Apologies for the wait, sometimes it's hard to get the distractions up off you. For enough time to jot your thoughts, but fuck it, this morning I got to. I'm thinking about you. I heard you just had you another little baby. Congratulations. I hope you got through it with no complications. I find it amazing the way that you juggle your kids, the biz.
I look like a wet ass motherfucker.
Sit around waiting for you to pull up, make an album I'm making. but I hope that you take, man. A little time for yourself. Still in a moment or two to unwind between the hectic sounds of your
What do you gotta say to Darren?
Do you clear your mind? See a lot going on.
You would just talk about how you want to.
Niggas been doing you wrong.
You and Dan?
No,
No, you said you. No, you said how you be staring, and then you be like, damn.
Your light, your voice, and writing a beautiful poem. Session 32, bring me the tears. Be getting choked up when I hear it. Seem like I keep crying off so much since a nigga had these kids, and I don't know what it is.
Hello, this is Grandma.
More than I already was. Whenever my
trying to talk to you, see what you're doing. Me, I just stay in my room all the time. I hate it. I wish I could go out somewhere. But I'm scared outside. They have nine cold or something like that. 19 cold? Something like that. That cold, that big cold that comes around. That's what I'm scared of, so I just stay inside. I want you to take care of yourself. Cover your mouth all the time when you go outside, so you won't catch that cold. So how's Chastity? She okay? Okay, love you. Night.